So if you want to run with your children, if you want to be a running family, we thought we'd put together these tips. Percy and Rurcy's Guide to Running! Welcome
to the brand new critically acclaimed morning show called the Morning Show called the Hack Show!
This family is a bunch of runners. We run all the time. Not just mommy and daddy, but this one has been running now for you're a good runner. We actually did a 5K together?
Ready? Starting, here we go.
I don't know if our tips would really work.
Wait, but that's...
for other people.
That is the point of this podcast today, is delivering our guide.
But I don't know if
our guide can work for you.
Maybe.
Tip number 0, to get started, don't force it, probably. It was just, it entered in...
Why is it tip number 0?
Well, I don't know.
One day we were out on a walk and I started copying him and she started copying me.
You were in your, I'm gonna copy everybody mode. And then I said, well, I'm gonna go running at 6:30 in the morning or something like that.
No, I don't think it was 6:30.
7 in the morning, and you were like, I'm gonna go running at 7 in the morning. Tip number 0 or 1.
Wait, no. Tip number -20.
Is don't take it so seriously, but we're able to kind of fit it into just a joking conversation, and so that was like the little baby step to kind of get started. Second tip then, or -19 or whatever, obviously don't go for long distances out of the box. Our first runs were tiny. Run a little bit, walk, run a little bit, walk. You just gotta be okay with that. And then obviously you build up. And that's probably obvious. What? That's not obvious?
I never knew that.
Are you joking?
Yes.
Here are some of the tips that maybe aren't so obvious. Let's go to tip number 1.
No, tip number -18.
I know, but these are the real good ones, the juicy bits.
Fine, tip number 3.
Okay, skip to tip number 3.
A fun activity on the run,
Totally.
feeding the ducks or something.
Yeah, so establish fun activities to look forward to on the run. Bring a bag of duck food, feed the ducks. We're gonna go to the zoo and see the lions. Makes the run something to look forward to. This whole thing isn't just about a run, it's about these other activities. I think that was a huge thing to kind of encourage you to see this through.
And the zoo was way too far.
Yeah, the zoo was definitely a milestone. I started dropping hints hey, if you could make it this far, we could start going into the zoo. Yeah, so that was huge. The next thing I would say is come up with something to collect on the thing. Nature collection. We collect a lot of golf balls. Turn that into another motivation to go on the run. Find things that you think would be fun to collect together.
What are some other things you could collect?
Look for money, look for coins.
Yeah.
Find a lending library on the way to kind of pick up books. Stones, different color stones.
Yeah, that's cool.
Pieces of glass, colored glass would be kind of neat. Obviously, don't cut yourself. Don't email me if you cut yourself. Please don't. Maybe don't do the glass. Skip the glass.
Maybe you could run by the beach or something and get sea glass.
Right. Yeah. Or seashells. Similar to the activities, let kind of a game happen.
Don't step on the cracks or step on as many cracks as you can. That's actually harder when you're running.
That is hard.
When you're walking.
Yeah. So games that you can play while you're running. We do the game with the thing that we collect. Sometimes we dribble golf balls.
Oh yeah.
I bet another good idea is to actually just bring a ball. Bring a small ball that doesn't not a huge basketball or something, but bring a racquetball or a tennis ball, something to kind of throw to each other as you're running. Because we'll do it with golf balls, but I think
we'll, try to bounce it. We're pretty bad at it though.
Yeah. Tip 7, bring a camera. A lot of kids like taking pictures, taking video, seeing this stuff later. So if you have a GoPro or there's lots of cheap GoPros these days.
pretty.
Pick anything.
Like we run
Something
by the
small,
water.
obviously.
That sometimes looks pretty.
Yeah.
And it's cool with the ice.
Yeah.
Or you could take pictures of ducks, like we run by the water.
Yeah.
And then
This is maybe an obvious tip.
obvious, we go back to the minuses. If
Right.
It's obvious tip, we go 0.
Yeah,
then
we're doing,
-1,
this is exactly
minus
how people deliver lists of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. For distances, pick little milestones that everybody can remember the next day. Like we would say like, tomorrow let's try to get to that park bench that's just like 10 feet that way, or to that light post.
There was a statue that we were trying to go to, and then we would pass the statue like 10 feet, like a bench or like a light post.
Find something that's like visually interesting, that's like easy to remember, and becomes like a neat thing that you guys
Yeah.
can strive for to kind of get to the next distance.
It's tip 0.
Yeah. I still like it. Ooh, I've got another tip
7.
maybe in the negative territory.
Ooh, what's -1?
Don't be afraid of buying, there's some cheap waterproof shoes for kids. Like you're gonna be running potentially in rain and stuff like that. You don't want uncomfortable feet. Like, you don't want those kinds of complaints to hamper your run. So we have invested in some waterproof shoes. And when I say invested, like we bought like $40 waterproof shoes.
Like if you were going out in winter and you were gonna wear your winter coat on like a walk and pants and stuff and like a long sleeve shirt, don't do that. Wear your fleece instead because it's like 10 degrees warmer. Or
Right.
something.
You don't want to dress for the weather. You want to kind of dress for like the weather plus 10 degrees.
Also, I like to have like a limit on how cold I go out running. Anything above 20 is fine, but if it gets in the teens or like in the 1-digit numbers, I don't go.
I think that's helpful because then there's no like debate in the morning whenever we're talking about it. Like have the rule. Controlled rocks. Do you think they're warmed up right now at all? Is that it? I think those are a lot of our tips, right?
So we have like.
We got any more?
How many tips? 8 tips. 8 tips.
I don't know. I got like negative 20, negative 19.
No,
we went
we
to
transferred negative 20 and negative 19 into 1
3.
and 2. and
I don't know.
3 and
Those were a handful
I
of
think we
tips.
had 6. No, we
Handful
had
of
7.
running tips.
I'm pretty sure we had 7. I think.